Okay, here we are. We got this nice little malinois Dutch Shepherd cross, and he's been outside playing with his brothers and sisters, climbing some stuff and running around having a good time with some other dogs here at the kennel, making sure that they get plenty of exercise and plenty of socialization. Now it's time to bring him in and let him do some learning. We're just trying to teach this dog to be a good student. Okay, so the very first thing we need for him to do is understand that we've got some good stuff to teach him. And the fastest way to learn is just by kind of following our hand around. We'll lead him through the behaviors he needs to learn. This is what a lot of people call targeting. Okay? So what you're going to notice, this dog starts to follow my hand. Follows it into a sit, give him a treat. I'll take my hand and put it up by his muzzle. Oh, and I'll make him reach up with his paw to knock the hand away. I'll give him a treat. That turns into a wave later. I'll bring my hand down between his legs. That turns into a down later. I'll bring my hand straight out. That starts with a stand. Good. We sit. We have wave. We have down. We have stand. We try to do this about a dozen times a day, and at 7 weeks old, we'll probably do it for about 2 minutes per session. Sticking with the theme, I figured I might show you guys how this works with the whole litter. This is a little female at 7 weeks. And I'm going to get her to follow my hand around. Give her some rewards just for following my hands around. Now what you're going to notice is that out of this whole litter of puppies, even though we do the same things with them every day, some of them are better at each exercise. Some of them are better at some of the exercises. And you just have to be patient with puppies. You have to judge each one on how hard they're working. And sometimes you have to make small adjustments in your treat schedule or the number of sessions that you get per day or the duration of each session. Good. This little girl, she does pretty well usually. We started doing this actually with these puppies about the time they started eating hard food. And we control some of their rations each day. And that allows us a chance to get tons and tons of repetitions in without getting into without running into the problem of excess calories, you know. Good. Sit. Stand. Normally we'll go from stand to the sit, to the wave, to the down, and back to the stand. Really easy stuff. Now I'll go get some more puppies. Okay, here we have puppy number 3. Good boy. He's not quite as confident as his brother and his sister. Okay, so I'll give him a lot of rewards just for moving in the direction of being more confident, of being more outgoing. That's really what I need out of a student. I need them to be calm and attentive, but I also need them to be outgoing enough to look at a new challenge and say, hey, I can do that. Now notice where those other puppies were on the table and they were dancing around and moving real fast. This guy, he gets a little bit nervous. Probably because it's on an elevated surface, and you know, some puppies have trouble when you get them up off the ground a little bit. But usually you can work through that. You just have to be a little bit more patient. So as we go through this litter of puppies, you're going to see how sometimes the cadence of my voice will change, sometimes how the movement of my hand will go a little faster or go a little slower. But what I'm doing is, although I'm taking the same approach with the whole litter, I'm trying to have room to let every dog be an individual and find the strengths and weaknesses of each dog. And I build on their strengths. When I build on their strengths, I minimize their weakness. This puppy's kind of more calm and deliberate. Okay, so I will go at a more calm and deliberate pace. Good boy. So I'll bring him into that stand kind of easily. Good boy. I might stroke him, make him feel a little better. I'll take my hand, I'm going to bring him up into that sit. Oh, there comes that paw. That's good. I like that. Give him a little extra success. Give him some rewards while he's in the middle of this sit. Good. Then we'll bring him into the down. Good. And since he's calm, he does a little better at staying than the other dogs. The other two puppies, puppies 1 and 2, they were a little bit better at getting to the postures and getting to the positions I wanted them to be. This dog's a little bit better at staying in the posture. So it's not a matter always of better or worse. It's a lot of times a matter of just different. And what is a person looking for? When a client comes to you, what is it that they need out of their puppy? Do they need that puppy to be more outgoing? Or do they need that puppy to calm down a little bit and be a little bit more deliberate? Okay, well, let's go get another one. Lots of different personalities in puppies. I mean, they have a range, you know. So malinois are all going to kind of act like malinois. Beagles are going to kind of all act like beagles. And but a big mistake people make is thinking that just because it's a malinois, it's going to be the same as its brothers and sisters. There's a lot of effort that goes into breeding dogs to all be the same, but they just, you know, they develop a little bit different, you know, or differently. So what we have to do is we have to look at the dogs, and look at this little dog. The last little dog I got out was a little bit hesitant, a little bit worried. This puppy's had the exact same life experience. And she's happy, she's outgoing, she moves faster, her tail wags more, you know. Just how she was born. So you have to accept that difference, those differences. One of the things, though, that you have to watch out for is thinking that a dog is necessarily better than another dog. We each have things that we like or don't like about puppies. Sometimes an active dog suits an owner. Sometimes, if a dog's too active, it just doesn't suit an owner. And that creates conflict in the household. Oh, good. This little puppy here, oh, I think she's going to be great for somebody that wants to do a dog sport. Good. Somebody that has a farm and can take this dog around with them while they work. You know, needs a real active lifestyle. Good. Super smart, super eager to learn. But she's always into something, you know. I mean, just a minute ago I walked outside and she had a piece of weather stripping off of my door that her and her brother were playing tug with. So there are blessings and there are blessings in disguise. Good. This dog's a blessing for a dog trainer because even at 7 weeks old, super easy to work with, super enthusiastic. But from the kennel owner side of being a dog trainer, I got to watch her because every time I turn around, she has something in her mouth that she shouldn't. Good. Good puppy. Stand. Good. Sit. Down. Good dog. Okay, here's the last puppy that we're going to video today. And I just want to show you that this, again, getting back to the point that, you know, dogs are individuals, right? So I showed you a couple of puppies that are, I mean, these puppies live the same life. They've been here at my kennel their whole life. They were born in my basement, right? Okay, but they're a little bit different. I have about half and half in this litter that are really like crazy go-getters and into stuff all the time. And I have about half that are reserved and a little bit more patient, a little bit easier to play with for the kids that come down here, okay? Now, I showed you a couple puppies that were really rambunctious and really outgoing, and I just showed you a puppy a minute ago that was a little bit more reserved. And this one, he's also a little bit reserved. So you'll notice, again, the cadence of my voice, it changes a little bit. I try to go to a more reassuring tone. I make the work easy for him. Good boy. Real slow. Oh, good. I try to maintain each posture for a long time to give the puppy a sense of success. You know, so instead of success by doing lots of stuff, I tell him, listen, you can be successful just by concentrating, just by paying attention. You know, if you find something like a down and you run up on it and you get paid for it, I like it, do a lot of it. If sitting suits you, well, come on up here and sit for a little while. The main thing is I want to raise these puppies so that each day they leave their training sessions with a feeling of success, okay? And that way it's going to allow me to develop them to the most of their abilities, you know. So we help them get their personalities out where they need to be. And so then when we go to placing them with homes, by the time these puppies are 10, 11, 12 weeks old, they're going to have a lot of skills developed. They're going to have a good attention span. They're going to be able to sit down and stand. They're going to come to you. They're going to go in their little house when they're supposed to, you know. And we're going to know their personalities so well that we really rarely make mistakes on placing puppies. And I feel like without this level of interaction, it's hard to really steer people in the right direction. So each day when we're doing this, I've got a little notebook over there, and I make my assistant take notes. They take notes on the puppy's predispositions towards training, and then the puppy's growth as it matures, you know. Okay, so I showed you 2 dogs today, 2 real go-getters, and 2 that are kind of passive. Next week when we make another video, maybe it'll be the same, maybe it'll be a little bit different. Okay, but over the course of the next 2 or 3 weeks, we're going to see some very distinct patterns develop. And I hope you guys enjoy it.